This video is about the death of Officer Fontana, and it's about the Crip gangs. I have documented over 10 gang neighborhoods and 10 different Crip factions in San Jose, and I've also noticed key mistakes in a gang expert named Officer Sass. There was key mistakes in her testimony, and I'm not allowed to correct them. But I will say this: it has to do with the people she put in certain gangs and the people that weren't named on the list that were key members, and it has to do with the misinterpretation of the gang allegiances and what type of gang one of the gangs she said is. Now, I'm not going to get into it anymore. Already saying that is risky. It's being disciplined by certain Crip gang members. Alright, so I'll tell you like this. There's a lot of wannabe people out there who claim different gangs. I know one of them named Simon. Okay, he claimed Seven Trees, but he wasn't from there. There were certain rejects from Seven Trees, like Randall. Okay, I can talk about these guys. These are wannabe gangsters that we had our disagreements with, or whatever. And, you know, personally growing up with Seven Trees, they would rip everybody else off. I'd identify myself as a Crip gang member, and if they were short a couple grams, then they would reimburse me. I could go back there. That was the difference between being a Crip gang member. Is meant that we had a certain understanding with the other Crip gangs, that we are kind of coming under the same umbrella. They got that right, and that is something that I can't speak on because it's everyone puts it out there. In jail, all the Crips roll together, and when there's a threat to the prison gang structure, and it has to do with the people on top putting a lot of heat on the Crips because of me. When I made my Illuminati video in 2009, several Asian gang members said they can't tell me, but they agree with me, and they said they caught a lot of heat because of me. We caught a lot of heat from the secret societies that control. Well, I can't really get into it, but I will say this: certain members PC'd up, and I know their family might not appreciate me pointing out who they are, but I'll give you a list, and I'll say one of them PC'd up. And okay, basically, you had Peter, Dante, Marco, Dion, Sean, Peter, Cedric, Richard, Avery, Alvin, Johnny, Tonato, Javis, Jonte, Kevin, Cedric, Sean, Edmund, and Edwin. Alright. So, this is how it goes. There's several key Crip gang members in Crip gang organizations. I'll name them in the order that I was taught and that I believe that they migrated and they started appearing in San Jose. I believe it starts in about 75 or 76. And I believe that the court record is wrong about that as well. It starts in more like 75, 76, 77, when there was probably about 30 members of the family Crip gang in San Jose. I could say that the court document said there was about 70 of them, and from my understanding, that is not true. That is not the case. And I believe I know a lot more than a gang expert would, because I was given, access to a lot of the secret codes and privileges that they weren't. So there's about 2 requests for appeals, and there's 2 statements in court documents about gang experts denying their appeals. Let me first paint the picture in your head. Okay, family Crips start to merge on the south side and downtown, also on Hillsdale. Okay, Hillsdale, you have to remember that on the east side as well you had Ocala and Capitol Park. Okay, but the first Crip gang I would say was on the south side. It was family Crip, and they didn't really have a neighborhood. And then, so that's the first one. The second one was Seven Trees, which is off of Capitol or Monterey. They hold down that whole apartment complex, and to go there at night, where a lot of drugs are sold, is dangerous for rival gang members. Okay, the third Crip gang that came into being, from my understanding, was on the east side. Okay, they were the insane Crip gangsters, insane gangster Crips. I've heard it 2 different ways. Okay, so that's 3 of them. First you had family, Then you had Seven Trees. Then you had ICG. Okay? And then you had the Kids. And then you had the West Side Rip, which is off Boynton. Okay, the jungle side of town. The jungles. You had the Crips and the Bloods. Well, let me not get into this because there's some things that I don't know if they know. But I'm damn sure the cops would be completely insane not to pick up on these things. To downplay the other gangs' contributions to what is going on. It's just, oh, it's a Crip city. These other gangs don't exist. The Crips did all the work. I can't. I want to tell you so fucking bad. I want to set the record fucking straight, but I can't. But I can tell you what I can't tell you. All right. So, you had Family, then Seven Trees, then ICG, and then you had the West Side Rips at the same time, about the same time, as you had the SOS, Sons of Samoa, and certain Samoan gangs. And they have several different spots. One's off the Story, and one's by Flickinger. Okay, so you had the Samoan gangs, the Samoan Crips. So that's about 5 of them, right? You might say, where's the other 5? The other 5, you start going from, okay, these are the real recognized Crip gangs. Now let's talk about the guys who made Crip gangs, but aren't necessarily recognized Crip gangs. There's the Asian Pride gangsters, who fall under the Asian Crip umbrella in jail. There is there's another Cambodian gang that I'm not familiar with their name and their membership. I know only a few members of them. So you had the Asian Pride gangsters, the Cambodians. I don't know if I named Kids before. Kids is the Crip gang made up of nothing but kids. Okay, so now I need 2 more, and I give you my estimate about 10. Alright, let's see, who did I cover? The last 2, I'm not going to, I could include the Crips who migrate from Oakland and LA and Seaside. I'm not going to cover those last 2. Okay? I could include the crew that I was a part of as part of the last 2, but then it's going to be easy for them to throw the same charges at me as they threw at the other gang members of gang enhancement. So it becomes a difficult decision. This is why I teeter-totter from, I used to be a gang member, I'm still a gang member, I used to be, because it's your own testimony. Okay, a lot of these guys, they identified themselves as gang members in jail, and that's what they used against them. They said, okay, what gang are you part of? When faced with being put in this blood cell block, being faced with putting in rival gang cell block, they said, look, I'm a Crip from San Jose. Put me in a safe cell block, it's going to cause me the least harm. Okay, and someone PC'd up. And so, when we talk about the last 2, who are we going to label as the last 2 Crip gangs? Okay, we already talked about Family. We already talked about Seven Trees. We talked about SOS. We talked about the West Side Rips. We talked about Capitol Park. We talked about the Cambodians, the Asian Pride gangsters. So who are the last 2 we're going to name on record as official Crip gangs, not just groups? It's a very difficult one because there's a lot of instances where you have apartment complexes where different Crip gang members congregate and became part of the same. Okay, I talked to you about West Side Crips. So there's only 2 more that I'm going to name. Okay, it basically goes like this. The first one I'm going to name is the Asian Crips on Verde. The next one I'm going to name is P-Town. P-Town. Okay? I was thinking, okay, do I really want to name these Asian groups? Okay, that's what it is. So there's the Black Crips, and there's the Asian Crips, and they're Cambodians, Vietnamese, and the guys who wear the little P hats, P-Town. It was on the east side, off of King is how you get there. If you exit the freeway, you take King, and then you turn. And there's apartments. And it has to do with a certain Sereno neighborhood. Most of the neighborhoods are in Norteño neighborhood, Seven Trees, West Side Rip. The SOS area has Serenos and Norteños. But to get to P-Town, you had to be in a Sereno neighborhood. by Poke Away. Thank you.